This video is all about life in the day of a final expense agent. We're going to cover a bunch of stuff, including what it's like working in the field, the typical office or appointment setting telephone day, the clients, working leads, selling whole life insurance as the vehicle that covers the client's final expense needs, working in rural areas versus the urban metro cities, and we're even going to address the mindset of success along with what's better, being talented or having a strong work ethic. And this is all coming up next, so stick around. One of the things that pisses me off more than just about anything is when agents contact me and say how they're ready to sell final expense. I've done all the research, Doug. I'm super excited about this. And they're telling me this type of stuff and how they're going to be great at it. And then when I mentioned that as long as they understand that most of their sales will actually come from going to the prospect's house with the lead in hand and knocking on their door, they suddenly get quiet. That's why I decided to make this video. So, by the time you've watched this, you should have a much better picture of what it truly takes to be a successful final expense agent. I'm Douglas Massi, and if you're new to our channel and are either interested in final expense sales or are already selling final expense life insurance, we do ask that you subscribe to our channel and then ring the little bell-looking thing that's next to the subscribe button, as we're putting out new training videos all the time. And please, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up right now so that we actually know that you're watching. In our industry, you will have field days and phone/office days. During your typical field day, you're going to be out running the appointments that you set on your phone day and door knocking the leads in between the appointments that either didn't give you an appointment or that you couldn't reach by phone. Yeah, you're just dropping by most of these houses unannounced. Surprise! Mrs. Jones, you requested the information and I'm here to give it to you. So where can we sit down real quick? When it comes to the office phone days, some agents will actually be better off just door knocking and not even taking a phone day or calling to set appointments. This is how companies like Lincoln Heritage train their agents. At our agency, United Final Expense Services, you're treated as an independent agent, which means the choice is totally up to you. You're buying the lead, so you should decide whether to call or just door knock. What's nice is that our training will help you to decide what is going to work best for you from day one. But eventually, you will want to work yourself up to having 2 days a week where you do nothing but call all your leads over and over and over, setting as many appointments as humanly possible. And yes, you will need to call through all 50 plus leads at least 8 to 10 times on your phone day. Would you like a copy of our appointment setting super file? Let me just tell you. This file has the appointment setting scripts for calling direct mail leads, telemarket leads, and our final expense Facebook leads, along with a copy of the script that we use for overcoming objections while setting appointments. Just stick around to the end of the video and I'll gladly show you how to get a copy for yourself. Now, back to the leads. The final expense direct mail leads cost between $30 and even over $40 each. And this is why most of the agents on our sales team mainly work final expense Facebook leads, as the Facebook leads are about half the price of the direct mail. And interesting enough, the closing percentage is right around the same. No, you don't have to be a member of our sales team to purchase our Facebook leads. Final expense agents use whole life insurance policies as the vehicle to cover the final needs for our clients. There are a lot of final expense carriers and they all have different pricing, and interesting enough, they all have different underwriting criteria. One of the things that we teach our contracted agents is how to use a cheat sheet so that they're giving the client the best product based on their health. Meanwhile, they're getting paid top dollar for every single sale they make. A couple of things that I find to be important is cost and underwriting. Since all carriers have totally different pricing and some of the insurers are more lenient on the underwriting than other companies, I find it important to train our agents to use the companies with easier underwriting and more competitive prices. You see, a big part of selling final expense insurance successfully is to have the ability to beat other carrier rates, as replacing policies is a big part of our business. I love me some companies like Lincoln Heritage and Senior Life Insurance Company. These guys have a lot of agents all over the country pimping their overpriced final expense insurance policies. Think about it. You walk into a presentation where the client already bought a Lincoln Heritage or Senior Life Insurance policy sometime over the past year or so. These folks are paying top dollar for an insurance policy that does nothing special for them, but in most cases, the agent that sold them the policy sold them something that they claim to be completely different and totally unique. You show them how you're going to be able to save them buku bucks each month with a product that does the exact same thing, or actually in most cases, you're going to be able to give them more insurance for less money, and you're then going to become their favorite person in the world. Most of our clients are on a fixed income, and the price really does matter to them. I'm talking in most cases, when it comes down to it, affordability is the most important topic to be addressed during your final expense presentation. In my experience, this is true whether you work in rural areas or if you prefer to stick with the urban cities. Personally, I prefer to work in the rural areas, going town to town, traveling a lot more than your typical final expense agent. And I have no problem staying a couple nights in a Motel 6 so that I can work a more hospitable environment and inadvertently make more solid sales than the next guy. You see, the typical final expense agent tends to be lazy and sets limits on themselves on how far they will travel to sell final expense. What's messed up about this is that sales are usually a lot easier to make in those smaller, more rural towns where agents aren't climbing all over each other like they are in the big metros. Look, successful final expense agents do go the extra mile. They don't give up on a lead until they've been kicked out of the house. They don't care how far they have to go for their success. Bottom line, successful people are who they are because they don't set limits and they do whatever it takes. When it comes down to it, there are two ways to be successful, but in most cases, one doesn't work without developing the other. I'm talking about talent and or versus work ethic. Now, one of the things that I love about working with final expense agents is that all you need to be successful as a final expense agent is a strong work ethic. Me, I'll take work ethic over talent every time, because if you're talented, you probably won't be successful without the work ethic and the do whatever it takes, go the extra mile attitude that comes with people who have a crazy strong work ethic. If you have a strong work ethic, you'll eventually learn the business while cutting through the learning curve day by day. So the talent part will eventually show up. The trick is to just hang in there, learn from your mistakes, move forward no matter what, and never, ever, ever give up. Sadly, I've seen some very good agents walk away from the business right before they have that big aha moment, or I don't know, right before the final expense light goes off and the talent starts to kick in. For a copy of the appointment setting super file that I mentioned earlier in the video, just shoot me an email at doug@ufesonline.com. Do you need final expense training? Would you like to learn how to deal with any objection and gain access to our online training platform, which means basically being on our final expense sales team? Just email me at that same address. Remember, guys, when you put the needs of your clients first, the rest will fall right into place. So get out there and do something good for someone today. Happy hunting.